Hi guys, I hope you're doing well. I had a little time and I wanted to come on and continue to look into the situation, the invasion of Ukraine, the standing up of Ukraine, which has been so amazing and inspiring to watch, but also very painful as we saw. Well, so these cards, this was at the end of my last reading on the situation. I felt we were already entering into this Ten of Swords phase of things, which in a way to me felt like a short period of time. In fact, I felt it as a horrible day, but I realized that a horrible day can be stretched out to a longer period of time, if that makes sense. And we're in this day. It could mean there's going to be another, like a worst day of all kind of thing, which I just dread the thought of. It's like our hearts, our spirits are so with those Ukrainians fighting for their land, for their freedom, for their right to exist without this Russian rule. So anyway, I think we know what this is. We're watching it. It's been, like I said, both inspiring, but also just so awful. It's like we don't want to see it. It is uniting and lifting the world in a way, which, you know, we have in this Ace of Cups. And in the long run, that's what we will carry with us, what was uplifting and inspiring and incredible and beautiful, this Ace of Cups. Now, I wanted to talk about this Knight of Pentacles because I did see this as soldiers no longer fighting and sort of occupying the space, the land. I was really hoping that it wasn't Russian soldiers. And one reason I thought it didn't feel like Russian soldiers is because I thought this doesn't feel like Russian soldiers because this card did not feel like an invading soldier. It just felt like they're standing on street corners holding the ground, which a Knight of Pentacles, you know, isn't really warring. It's not like a sword. It's not like a fiery wand. And then, you know, we're learning more and more that actually is the attitude of a lot more of these Russian soldiers than we would have expected. They're they're sort of passive. But I'm starting to think, I mean, it's just the only thing that makes sense is that I don't want to say that, like, well, at the surface, we may get to a point where more and more it seems that the Russian soldiers have occupied these areas. Beneath the surface, we have a Nine of Rods. This, I'm absolutely positive, is the Ukrainian people. This is a card of being embattled but standing your ground, okay? So even if it looks like certain areas get occupied, these soldiers, I can tell you, are not into it. They're just deflated. They have no passion for what they're doing. They're just standing the ground. And I almost, even in my last reading, I said it almost feels like they're kind of protecting and just making sure that this stops here. So I don't know. I feel like maybe we're gonna have a period where it seems that things have been occupied, but really they're not that into it. And we've seen this in certain areas. I mean, I've watched videos where it's like, according to the news, the Russians have occupied an area, a part of a town, this sort of thing. But really, these Ukrainians just are out there. I mean, you can see this is sort of like a standing out there and protesting and saying, no, this is Ukraine, this is Ukraine, this is Ukraine. And these guys just not being that into it. They're just like not really fighting. They're just sort of shrugging their shoulders. Like half the time it seems like they don't even know what they're doing. You know, you just hear so many reports of these kids, and I do feel them to be like kids who are told one thing, they find themselves, they didn't even know they were going to Ukraine. They didn't know they were supposed to kill people, you know, and they're just kind of like, some of them just walking away and just wanting to get out of the situation. And that's, I think, why I felt that this was a kind of a non-threatening occupation because the soldiers themselves just don't seem to be violent. And the people are standing their ground. So it's like these two things are existing at once. An occupation and a non-occupation. And you know, this being down here, it's almost like, I think I keep hearing this like term about the underground, like, and the fact that it just is, this card is more underneath, that there's more of a force, an uprising, you know, because that which is sort of below will rise. So I would just say if it starts to feel like this occupation is working and happening, I don't think that the Russian soldiers who are standing on street corners are very into it. And these Ukrainians are very into holding their land. And just that force, that 9 of rods, that passion is a lot stronger than this Knight of Pentacles. And so like they might, this stuff might end, the battles where people are being killed. But there would be a period where a strange sort of occupation where they're not really occupied because the people are just like not accepting it. And then these people really aren't pushing it that hard. And then of course we have this Ace of Cups at the right hand side, which is like the new day. So that's coming. And the question I have is, how do we get here? We have our period of battle that's hard to look at, but inspiring. We're going to have possibly this period of occupation that is inspiring. And then something brand new happens. We have a brand new day. In my reading that I did on Putin a while back, a few weeks ago, I did feel like there was a new leader that was going to be coming in. And I feel like that's the only way that things stop. Is either like, I wonder if these Russian soldiers would ever sort of start to just, even just by spending time in the same space, just start to just, what is an occupation if the soldiers aren't into it? And then the other way this thing would end would be if Putin finally was removed. And the only way that happens, I think, is his own inner circle. And in my last, like I said, that reading on Putin from weeks ago, I got this King of Wands that I saw as a certain type of guy. And I just like got it in my head and I'm like, okay, yeah, I see this new guy coming in. And when I decided to look it up the other day, who would take Putin's place? Because I did feel it to be someone from his inner circle, not some, you know, like the change wouldn't happen so fast that now it's a democratically elected person right off the bat. I think it would be one of Putin's other leaders, you know, sort of in that oligarch circle, I think. That's what I felt him to be, but that he would be better than Putin. Now there's a guy who's the prime minister of Russia, and I looked at like 5 different people and I knew like right away, like that's the guy. His name is Mikhail Misha something. I'll put a picture up on the screen with his name. I kind of want to read on him because what I kind of want to read on these oligarchs. I want to read on his inner circle and I want to know if they're going to overthrow him one way or another. So let's read on that. Okay, Spirit, we want to know what's going on in the inner circle of Vladimir Putin. It seems that the fantasies of Putin only serve Putin. Are they feeling the same way? Do they want a new beginning? Are they looking to overthrow Putin? What is going on in that inner circle, in that group? Can we look forward to Putin being overthrown by his own inner circle? Or will it be the same old, same old? Are we just going to continue on, same old, or are they planning a coup? Are they planning a coup? It's amazing when the news is asking the same questions as the readers and coming up with a lot of the same conclusions. Queen of Rods. This is very interesting because today I didn't listen to that many readings, but I listened to Marie's Table. Just a quick note that I did this video on Tuesday, March 1st, but it probably won't go out till Wednesday, March 2nd. So when I say today in this video, I'm referring to Tuesday. She felt there was a woman. I don't know if I should say these phrases. This is for entertainment purposes only and just intuitions that we get. So she mentioned a woman. And then later I tuned in to, I should know all these names, but I'll just have to take a screenshot or add it in voiceover that I tuned into, and they were getting a woman as well. Okay, so is there a woman actually on the inside? Because now I'm getting this Queen of Rods as the first and foremost answer to that question. And I've heard like a few other readers today say they think a woman is on the inside trying to either physically or, weaken him. Maybe we'll see like a cups would be a sort of physical weakening through something that he ingests. Wow, I also just noticed watching back, this Queen of Wands is holding a giant sunflower. We all know what the sunflowers come to symbolize in this war. A Ukrainian woman told a Russian occupier to take her sunflower seeds so flowers will grow where he falls. So wow, makes you wonder if that's yet another answer and validation for us in that card. That yes, there may be a plan for Putin to fall. Let's see. Okay, so we do have a woman here. What else? Oh, hello. I've got a couple cards here. It's so interesting. That is really weird. This Ten of Pentacles was here, but I thought it was a Four of Rods, and there is a Four of Rods beneath it. I don't know how that just happened. It's like I saw through the card. Okay. Ten of Pentacles is a whole lot of money. Four of Rods tells me also they're on the inside. This is like a card that I often have thought of as like my White House card. You see, it's like the Four of Rods sort of is like a protective gate. It's like of a place, of a space. It can be like a celebration, like a wedding, but in these political readings, I do see it as like wherever he is in his like iron tower or his castle, I would say wherever he is in Moscow, she's there. I'm not sure if, because this card would be a crossing card, if the trouble is getting through the gates, getting in close enough. And the Ten of Pentacles, I would say, is the motivator, money, which makes sense. Those in the inner circle don't seem to be driven by morals or right and wrong. They're driven by money, and Ten of Pentacles is all the money. And I think it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyway, the money would be an issue now because of all the sanctions that have been put upon Russia and the oligarchs around the world. They want their money. It's a major issue on the inside. And it's great to see here because it tells us the sanctions may be working to force Putin out one way or another. And Four of Rods tells me, yes, on the inside. Someone on the inside. This woman wants to do something. Wow. Very interesting. So let's see what's on the surface. Oh. At the surface, we have a Three of Rods. This showed up for me in my other Putin reading, or my last reading on this invasion. And this is a person looking out to say, which territory will I take next? So that makes sense. They've got Putin very much focused on the war at hand, okay? He's maybe kind of obsessed. It's almost like I'm getting like, it's possible that it's almost like a distraction that they have him looking at this. Okay, what's at the base? Six of Rods, Triumph. Interesting. I think I got this card in my last reading too. Weird. I'm not going to try to understand that fully just yet. We'll go to what is needing to leave the situation, the recent past, leaving the situation, King of Cups. Interesting. I have felt in my readings that Putin is sort of under the influence. Oh, and very interesting also, because we talked about this woman, Marie, at Marie's table, felt that it was literally something that she's serving him. So he might be, he's ingesting something here. And this, he just looks especially to me in like out of it. I think maybe she gives him something that relaxes him, but it makes him a little out of it, okay? What's moving into the situation? What will be moving? What can we expect to happen from this in the near future? 3 of Cups. This would be like a celebration among friends. Or if we're talking about this particular cups, that the others are in. The others are in for this plan. Okay? Show us what's going on right now. We are reading on the inner circle. Is anyone planning a coup to take them out? To take out Putin, rather. And geez, just planning a coup. I mean, the 3 of Cups, it does feel like a group. 8 of Cups here, which is a kind of giving up and walking away. I mean, truly, it's a withdrawal, an abandonment, a departure. I think they are abandoning him. Yes, that is happening. And the environment, and maybe this is why he's sitting so far away from everyone. They're saying he's just making himself more and more isolated. Page of Pentacles, okay. This is an offer. I feel like they have tried to very gently offer him an out. Like maybe he would like to just get away and they would take it from here, sort of thing. But it's not a forceful, it's sort of a suggestion, maybe to see what they get back from him. Temperance. I'll get back to that. I just want to like finish throwing these. Let's see. The Devil at the end. Wow. Whew. So I had, I said I would get back to the 6 of Rods. So let's do that first real quick, because I think I understand, like, this is sort of praising a person for victory, and this is the inner circle. So I think what they do is they just bring him good news. Aren't you amazing? And keep him sort of looking outward. It's like, also the fact that this 3 of Rods, like his back is to them. Like he's kind of like distracted. I feel like I'm getting this more and more. I feel they're praising and elevating Putin as a way of pushing him out. You see his back facing us in that 3 of Wands at the top, which gives me the feeling of them gently trying to push him out. That's also a card of waiting for your ship to come in, waiting for that victory you're anticipating. And we have that 6 of Wands victory card beneath the surface. I feel they are pushing the notion that his victory has already happened as part of that push. I think they believe that if Putin could feel satisfied that he has won, that he is now this great man of history he wanted to be, that he may then step down voluntarily. And I had a thought that maybe this was the last thing he wanted to do before he stepped down. And I looked into that, and there are reports from 2020 that Putin was thinking of stepping down for health reasons. And it makes me feel like he decided he first had to fulfill this takeover. And so his circle wants him to look away from what's actually happening and make him believe that he has already won. He is the great victor. Because then maybe he will feel satisfied enough to step down and let them take it from here. They keep feeding him what he wants to hear. And I think it's possible there is something that's throwing him off balance in a weird way, but I don't think, I'm not sure it's having the effect that they want. And it looks like there's gonna be 3 of them or more doing, something together. Abandoning him. This is like emotionally, this is how they're feeling, abandoning him. Offering him, hey, we can take it from here if you want to step aside. And then this Temperance is in hopes and fears. I think they just feel like we can't just keep going on like this forever. We can't just keep this middle ground, which is what Temperance would be. Like, it basically would have to be something drastic. The mild moves are not working. And then the final outcome, we get the Devil, which I think could be a coup. This 3 of Cups with this Devil, the Devil is like a taking over of the power, okay? In an underhanded way. And then with the 3 of Cups, it's like, let's get together and do this. I know that looks like a scary outcome, but you don't have to think of it literally, and I know, of course, yes, Putin is kind of like the devil, right? But I don't know, he's like this King of Cups now. He's like weakened. This could be Putin taking back his power, but I think because of this 3 of Cups that it's more of a group of people taking the power. And I just like double checked in some of my notes on the cards, and the Devil is literally downfall and failure. I think it could be Putin's downfall right here. And that would explain this Ace of Cups I keep getting for a new beginning for that part of the world. And possibly that new King of Wands. Now, underneath the deck right now, I have the Magician. Also makes sense to me. The Magician would be a group of people usually. It could be one person, but in this case, I think it's a group sort of creating a plan to do this here, this here, this here, this here. It would take a magician to achieve this coup, to take this position over from Putin. You would have to have a network of people in place ready to do what needs to be done. Knight of Swords, that's the fighting spirit. And 2 of Rods is a new day, a new beginning. Very interesting. And the fact that this is beneath the deck, it's like little does he know, basically, all these elements in place. This could even be them communicating with other countries. Wow. Like, that's how big the Magician is, like a network. It's the most powerful card in the deck, and it's a manifesting card. And that Knight of Swords just makes me think ready to fight. And 2 of Rods again. This is walking through a new doorway into a new journey. So based on these cards, I would say yes. Not only are they thinking about it, but I think it's going to happen. I don't know how far in the future. Like I said, I think that first we're in the battle. Then there's a sort of kind of occupation of some areas that's not really, because the Ukrainians are never going to accept it. And the Russian soldiers really don't care enough to care. And maybe there's even starts to be a sort of camaraderie between the Russian soldiers and the Ukrainians that you can't help. I mean, these are human beings, they're not all just wrapped up in the propaganda that... Let's throw a couple more cards on this Devil, which I do think is the taking down of Putin. Ace of Cups, there it is. There's that new beginning. Oh my goodness. I can't believe it showed up. That's so validating. There's that Ace of Cups to say the new beginning, the downfall, it's all coming. It's interesting that the new beginning starts before the downfall. And the new beginning also being the new outpour of emotion that you're seeing around the world. That's going to be a part of it. Like, so no matter what happens, it's like, we did this. The outpouring of emotion from people, the new beginning, the new, like, time, like, out with the old. Nine of Rods. There's the Nine of Rods. The Ukrainians hold their ground. That is awesome. I mean, I started this with those cards to talk about the last reading. These two were in that, in a different position. This was underneath. Rising up, they will end up with their land back. The Ukrainians get their land back. Oh my gosh. That's how whoever's taken over is going to get favor back on the world stage. Oh yeah, you want your money back? You want to be able to do business in the world? Ukrainian gets their land back. Okay, deal. Oh, there's a card here that seems to want to come out. Oh my God. You've got to be kidding me. You guys, these 3 cards were in those 4 cards. This is that 10 of Swords. It flipped itself upside down. The war is over. This is that 10 of Swords that was here in my last read saying, this is the battle. Upside down, it's done, it's over, it's alleviated. The 10 of Swords is over. That horrible time is over. The new day for Ukraine and Russia, I believe. The overthrow of Putin, and the Ukrainians get their land back, that 9 of Rods. Wow. So glad this is recorded because that's some amazing cards that just came up here at the end. These 3 cards are the 3 I started with in different positions, and they came out again in this ending. That's incredible. And like helps us believe over and over, so that we can connect our hearts into the situation and bring the best energy that we can. Like I keep saying, that Ace of Cups energy, try to connect to that, the new day, the ending of this battle, the pain and the war. Ukraine gets its land back, and the overthrow of the dictator. So very cool. So glad I did this reading. So glad I have people to share it with. Thank you for being there. As always, you know, feel free to comment on the cards or whatever it is you're feeling. Please do like and subscribe and hit the bell if you want to get notified right when I post a video. And I will try to check in again soon. Prayers to Ukraine, Zelensky, to Biden, to all of us, to the world, to really get to this new time and to overthrow the old, because we're ready for that. And just blessings and prayers to the Ukrainian people who are the inspiration for this new period to really fast forward, because we're all united together and wanting it all at once, wanting out with the old, in with the new, better, kinder, more fair, unified world. So thanks again, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Bye.